Washington, April 2013. An alert about explosions in the White House was issued by the Associated Press. The tweets sent the Dow Jones index plunging, wiping an estimated $130 billion of share values. It turned out to be a hoax, the work of hackers. Incorrect news items are nothing new. For decades, they've been distributed by nations and individuals. But what's different today, in 2017, the speed of dissemination and depth of penetration. It's called fake news. Fake news is information that look legitimate, but the stories behind the headlines entirely fictional. Hundreds of fake news sites have been set up, some producing false stories to entertain and amuse, others to peddle their own agendas. For instance, this post by Sony Pictures last month on its Twitter account says Britney Spears has died. Well, you can imagine how that was received by the pop icon herself and her millions of fans across the globe. It was later found that Sony Music's Twitter account had been hacked. But the idea of fake news stories really came to prominence during the U.S. election, so powerful that it's raised speculations that fictitious news stories influenced voters to Donald Trump's surprise victory. Now, on platforms like Facebook, users shared false stories like this one, Pope Francis endorsing Donald Trump. In fact, this actually made the top fake news of 2016. Or this, Hillary Clinton selling weapons to ISIS hundreds of thousands of times. And Angela Merkel is increasingly replacing Hillary as a prime target of fake news. Facebook is actually being sued by this Syrian migrant who, after posing for a selfie with the German chancellor, was falsely accused of being involved in terrorism. So how viral are fake news? This is a study by BuzzFeed News. It shows that in the final 3 months of the U.S. election presidential campaign, fake election stories gathered more engagement on the social media than actual stories, so genuine stories from 19 major news outlets combined. Those outlets include the New York Times, Washington Post, NBC News, and others.
In today's 24-hour news cycle, dominated by an always-on social media agenda, fake news with certain intentions can spread incredibly quickly. Some are posted as a form of persuasive communication to try to sway or sow seeds of doubt in people's minds about the character of an individual or group. Some can be forms of astroturfing, where the story is constructed by lobby groups or other professional or political organizations to try to attempt to discredit someone.
Now, Facebook will soon begin to set out a fake news filtering tool in Germany in time for the federal elections, slated in the next few months. German users of the network will be able to report a story as fake, which will then be sent to an independent fact-checking organization for examination. If deemed unreliable, Facebook will flag the post as disputed.
Work to give people a voice, but we also need to do our part to stop the spread of hate and violence and misinformation.
It's really a timely move as a proposed law is under review in Germany, which would levy a 500,000 euro fine for each single piece of misinformation published and not removed within 24 hours. With its fake news scare making its way all across the globe, especially in countries where elections are coming up, Korea is also grappling with the spread of these false news stories. A new unit at Korea's National Election Commission is preparing to combat disinformation campaigns and crack down on distribution of fake news ahead of the presidential election this year, one that may happen sooner or later.
We've come to realize that there are websites in Korea that help you create fake news, which can be distributed extremely rapidly, reaching all corners. Fake news can be detrimental to democracy, especially during election time.
That's why the nation's election watchdog has dispatched more than 180 agents to 17 regional offices nationwide to monitor and scour the web for any misleading or fabricated information.
The distribution of false information or fake news during election season is particularly concerning because once it's been out there, even if the information is removed afterwards, the damage to reputation has already been done. That's why prevention is the most effective strategy in reining in fake news, so that the voters are given accurate information to make the right decision for themselves.
There's never been such a challenging time to be an informed citizen. As civil societies, we would like to do our part in keeping tabs on the spread of fake news so that we ourselves can create an environment to exercise our democratic right.
Will we be fed information with indiscretion, or will we educate ourselves enough to be selective about it?